Welcome to the broadcast, everybody. This is Scott Offord with the Crypto Mining Tools Podcast, your
Hey,
host.
everybody.
And we've got Ethan
Hi,
Zerka
everybody.
over here and Pavel down there
Hi.
from Slush Pool and Braiins OS. So Pavel, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do there at your company?
Yeah, of course. The company is called Braiins. It's a typical thing what people don't get precisely. The company is called Braiins. The main product what we do is Braiins OS. It's an operating system for miners. And the biggest project we were working on the last 7 years already is developing and operating Slush Pool. And this is what takes all our time in this company. And yeah, we are having a nice ride because we love the whole ecosystem and what we do. And yeah, this is roughly what we are up to. My background is computer science. I started as a programmer, analyst, did some consultancy in this area, but after getting to Bitcoin, everything changed, and we do what we do from that point. And I personally don't want to switch in any time.
Now, Pavel, for our audience that are maybe new to cryptocurrency or just the space in general, can you give some more in-depth information about what Braiins OS is? Now, I mean, is it simply a firmware? Does it work with every miner? Does it work with any kind of miner? Tell us the detail.
Yeah. If you have a mining machine, ASIC, let's talk about Bitcoin mining.
Okay.
Then the hardware needs to be controlled by some firmware. It's typically a Linux-based operating system, and the whole software stack is pretty high. And what Braiins OS is the operating system and all the software which is on the hardware itself. It allows the machine to be connected to a mining pool or some proxy. It controls the hardware. It does all the stuff like tweaking speed of the fans, booting the machine, connecting it somewhere. A lot of configuration stuff is happening. And what makes Braiins OS special, or how it ended up being quite known, is because it is open source. We provide everybody the sources, so you can take the code,
and you can customize it.
You can change it, you can flash it to your device, and you can run your own version. And yeah, this is the key feature. It allows miners to be sure what exactly is running on their machines, because obviously mining is about money, and it sometimes needs to work against bad people and bad actors. So being in control of what you're running on the machine is obviously a plus. It can help with getting audits for I don't know, financing of your operation, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, we believe that open source is useful and a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge proponent of open source. Now, other than just giving you end-to-end control, does it have any other advantages? Like, can you unlock features and functionalities in these miners that the manufacturer knows about and has access to, but is preventing?
Yeah, of course.
It's preventing the users from accessing that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the fact that you have the full source code for operating the machine, you can tweak and you can use any feature what the hardware provides. So nobody can prevent you to use some features of the chip if you have the specifications, or if you can figure out how the hardware actually operates. Then you can tweak it and you can use it as you wish, which allows you to build your solutions. For example, people are putting some management or monitoring stuff directly on the machines, various things. You probably thought about enabling ASIC boost features. What was one of those biggest stories related to Braiins OS before,
Right.
when we allowed to people using S9s to run the chips in like fully spec, using ASIC boost, using all the hardware features.
And this is
Yes, and
overt ASIC boost, not covert ASIC
yeah,
boost.
this was
Okay.
over the ASIC boost.
Can you tell
yeah.
us? Sorry, just tell us a little bit about that whole
Mhm.
overt and covert ASIC boost and what
Yeah.
Bitmain was doing and why you guys decided to come out with this.
Yeah, the whole ASIC boost story is quite long. People speculated long years about miners using ASIC boost,
Yeah.
the patented technology for getting better efficiency from their miners. There were never proofs, if I'm not mistaken, that somebody used a covert version. And a lot of people were suspicious about Bitmain S9s and direction that there should be possible to run ASIC boost on these machines, but the stock firmware didn't allow it. And we did find some traces in the source code, which pointed us to a conclusion that it should really be that case. And my partner Jan Čapek, he spent some time on this, and at the end we figured out that it could be actually run, and it was an obvious thing to open it and give it to miners, because there was like 500,000, I don't know, miners out there, like the machines capable of running substantially more efficient way, and people could not use it. It was really outrageous. I cannot speculate about why Bitcoin, why Bitmain, these kind of things, why it was not allowed for everybody to use it. It would be pure speculation. Obviously, I have my internal opinions.
Now, do you think Bitmain was actually running ASIC boost for themselves?
And then not allowing, everybody else?
You could detect it. You could
Okay.
see it in blog headers. Because once you start to use this feature, you need to tweak
Right, yeah.
publicly visible field, the first field in Bitcoin header, which is inversion, and to allow over ASIC boost, it could be detected. So there are speculations if they could use the same hardware for covert version of ASIC boost, which could be technically done. And again, no like conclusive proof was found. It would be smart. I mean, mining is about getting as many hashes as possible by using as slow amounts of energy as possible. So it could be useful, and you want to have the advantage.
So did you feel that, or did your company feel that there was an unfair advantage by one of the big players out there? And so did you kind of see it as a moral obligation to even the playing field?
Yeah, I think it's like buying a product and somebody preventing you to use the product which you paid for. It's, yeah, I mean, buy a car and not never shift more than
Third gear, yeah.
third gear,
Yeah.
because somebody wants to run faster than you on a racetrack. So yeah, I think this is not right.
Yeah.
You just paid for the machine, and it's capable of doing what it's capable, and yeah.
So change the topic really quick here. We have a comment from somebody that is watching on YouTube right now live, and they say they want me to read this comment. They say ranking by background is number 1 Scott, number 2 Ethan, number 3 Pavel, but ranking by coolness, I think by the person is number one, Pavel. Number two is a tie between me and Ethan.
But I would like to know what the objective function would be, like how to, or the
like
metric.
handsomeness or smartness.
Yeah, I didn't shave. Maybe it's
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got to be the beard.
You look
Right.
great. Even great.
So yeah. Anyway, let's just segue. Ethan, why don't you tell us a little bit about our podcast sponsor?
Yeah, I'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsor, NovaBlock. They are new to the mining pool arena, and in just the short time, I think now 6 months that they've been in North America, they're now the 5th largest mining pool in the world, which is amazing. And the way they got there is they believe that as hash rate shifts from China into North America, they want to, onboard customers with giving them transparency and educating them as to, what pool is the right fit for them. Scott's going to follow up here
Yeah.
with how to get a deal from them. Yeah, they're great.
So on the top right-hand side, if you just click the sign up button, enter your information, and then there's an invite code. If you put in offered 18, OFFORD 18, you'll actually get a permanent reduction in your pool fees down to 1.8%. So yeah, give that a shot and try out NovaBlock. Otherwise, yeah, let's get back to the conversation at hand with Pavel from his wonderful company.
Yeah, now, Pavel,
best advertisement I could imagine on the podcast.
I am aware that you also are part of a new Stratum protocol. So can you explain to us, the current Stratum protocol and what you are doing, your innovation with the new Stratum protocol? Like how does it work? How does it benefit?
Yeah, of course. All Bitcoin mining currently runs on Stratum V1 protocol. It is JSON-based, text-based protocol, basically, which is really old, and it's super useful, and it does the work somewhat properly, and it was cool. But it is old, and currently the whole industry is much more matured. There are different needs for a communication protocol for mining, and what we were struggling with.
Just to be clear, the Stratum is actually the connection between the miner and it trying to decrypt the block.
Yeah, you can imagine it as a communication language between pool server and the firmware we discussed before. They need to communicate somehow. They send messages one way and another. And
so just like your browser uses hypertext transport language, HTML and HTTP.
It is HTTP analogy or TCP plus
TCP.
HTTP. HTTP is a better thing because Stratum runs on TCP as well. So the same way as HTTP is text-based, the original Stratum V1 was text-based. Obviously, there are efficiency enhancements in HTTP as well. So it's running in binary mode mostly nowadays as well. And one of the things we changed for V2 is working on efficiency. But there is a lot of enhancement we could imagine while implementing and running and operating the Slush Pool for so many years. And from the other perspective, once we got our hands dirty with writing firmware, we saw some inefficiencies and various quirks on the protocol from firmware perspective as well. So we thought we have a great opportunity by touching both ends to replace the original protocol and bring something that would solve all our problems, either on the firmware side or server side, and bring new features to the protocol which would allow new use cases or support current use cases better. There are various aspects of the new protocol. One is bringing much better efficiency on several levels. There's a lot of small improvements we could make, because original protocol was just random for messages, and it somewhat works, but it can be done more, in a more clever way. And once we started to think about what we can bring into the protocol, we ended up finding a better hash specification, which was a great inspiration for working on a critical feature of V2, which is work selection by miners. So this is one of the core features now in V2. And there is a lot of various aspects obviously we could discuss, but I'm not sure if this is a correct audience to discuss technical details.
We'd love it.
The people who are watching are miners, either hobbyist or professional. So we target the industrial mining industry.
So for like the core feature of let's start with the block selection thing, or job selection thing. You as a miner needs to work on a block template, which is sent by a pool, which creates this asymmetry of who decides what to mine on. You as a miner owns your machines, so technically you should be the one capable.
You should be able to decide what blocks your machine should be working on.
I want to mine this or that. It was meant this way, but the concept of pool mining, as is implemented right now, gives pools more power, because they can choose the template, and you as a miner just do the work. You do the hashing.
We've also been told that they can also choose not only, which blocks to mine, but they can actually choose which currency to mine. Like, moment to moment, they can switch from Bitcoin to, another SHA 256, and they can manage hash rate and manipulate profitability that way.
It can be seen as plus or minus. It depends. The fact that you can mine different currencies and do coin switching, as it's called, it can be a good thing if it's done in a way that we agreed this is happening. Then it's fine. We found some occasions that it was not agreed, and it is a different story. But you as a pool provider, you have the power to choose blocks, which means you choose transactions, and you can prevent somebody or try to prevent that some transactions are mined into blocks. And what we can see with the BCH lately is there is a possibility for miners to, like the pools, to make an agreement and choose their work.
And sell hash power to them,
So the concept of work selection done by the miners somewhat solves this problem. Not completely. It would be dishonest to say that it completely eliminates this asymmetry, but it goes pretty far towards you could run full node. You could choose your own transactions. You can prioritize them as you wish. You would probably prioritize the highest fee as expected, but it's not. It cannot be, or it can be a different case for you, because it's your machines, so you can do whatever you want. And if you run a full node or has access to a full node, then the Stratum V2 allows you to negotiate with the pool that I want to mine on this particular version of a block, and it can be done without losing efficiency. The most difficult thing related to block selection or work selection was to find an algorithm or protocol how to allow miners to do this and not cause a major problem like resource issues on the server side. If every miner is now starting to send block templates to a pool, you cannot validate it. It's just
Yeah.
so too much data. Yeah, so there are some clever tricks how this can be done in an efficient way, so that miner can choose block themselves, and obviously they can broadcast the block if they find block without even communicating with the pool. For example, if a pool is not cooperating on the block for some reasons. There is still some vector attack from pool side, or how to call it. Pool can can hold your coins, what you should be paid for your work,
Right.
but the pool cannot prevent you to broadcast the block if you find it. And typically what you can see is bigger farms, bigger miners tend to be paid very frequently.
Yes.
So there is only a limited amount of money what you can risk by a pool not doing its job. And it's not a big risk because no pool would like to be in crypto Twitter,
Right.
the pool not paying
with the controversy.
Yeah, but still, the theory needs to cover even these possibilities. But the nice thing is they cannot prevent you to actually mine a block with certain properties you choose. And if there is enough miners like this, then the chance of being censored out as, for example, someone who wants to make a transaction and operators would like to prevent this. If there is enough miners doing this kind of job selection, it's basically impossible to prevent the transaction being mined in.
So kind of to wrap it up in a nutshell, what it does is it streamlines the efficiency of communication, while at the same time empowering the miner to select what work it does.
Yeah, this is one of the key new features. To be completely open, there needs to be a lot of work done on other parts of the protocol so that you can start to implement this feature. The worst thing about Stratum V2 is it is more complicated. To be more efficient, it is slightly more complicated on like the message level. There is more different messages, and more complex interactions. But then it can give you some efficiency gains. And this crown feature of job selection is built on all the foundational stuff which you have to implement first. So we are going to give people a full implementation of the standard protocol, open sourced, as it should be, to help adoption, of course. And after that, we would start to build a job selection thing, because it's gonna take some time. But I think it can take some time. The good thing is we have the road lined. We know that the current protocol, as we would start to build it, can support this feature, and it's just a matter of engineering effort to get there. But the infrastructure would be already present. So yeah, it's gonna take some time, but it's awesome.
That's fascinating. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Scott, can you read the question? We've got a question from our audience here.
Yeah, so somebody on YouTube, LET Crypto, says, Pavel, what is the craziest conspiracy theory that you believe that is related to the Bitcoin mining industry?
This is going to be interesting. Yeah.
Now I tend to filter out everything what at least somewhat smells like conspiracy theory, because it just eats your brain, and we all have better things to do than thinking about stuff like this. So I don't know. I probably don't have any really spicy story. to
Well, I mean, you were mentioning before previously how a major manufacturer of miners was, showing up on the blockchain doing something that they weren't enabling their customers to do.
Yeah, the whole ASIC boost thing is a big contender for, but it's
Have
not
you?
conspiracy theory, It's
Well, I
just
mean,
fact.
okay. Have you
Fact.
seen anything else even more
Yeah,
extreme
there
than
was
that?
like an Antbleed. I think it was called Antbleed.
Yeah, ant bleed.
Yeah, the thing with calling home thing. It was funny because we analyzed the code when the Antbleeds were out, uh, and so we were asked to double check that the code actually does what people thought it does. We had a company dinner in that time, and it was funny because a lot of guys were around a computer trying to
Right.
look at what the code could do instead of eating burgers, which somewhat explains what IT guys tend to love to do.
Right.
Yeah, this was quite nice, and I'm not sure if it was really. It is conspiracy theory more than a fact. I can imagine it was a mistake, but it was great in a way that it showed how important is to look at the source
Security.
code.
Yeah, and
It's
yeah.
technically possible to be hijacked like that easy
Right.
because the code would work. The fact that it didn't happen large scale, like shutting off other farms, we were just lucky.
Yeah,
Right.
that's just
It
luck,
was
right?
great finger.
So I have a question coming up here, but first, Ethan, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what's coming up in Miami?
Oh my gosh, guys! Like, I cannot wait to go to the Mind Disrupt conference, and I know, I know my face lights up every time I talk about this. But you guys you don't even understand. Like, this is kind of the end all be all. This is what I live for. This is where everybody in our respective industries gets together, and we can all just, friends, foes, competitors, partners. We're all the same at this event. We all can talk, and we can understand what's new, what's on the horizon, what's cutting edge. And I'm just so excited to get there and be a part of it.
Yeah. So July this year, it's happening in Miami. And if you are looking for tickets, you can go to our special URL here, 2.tools/mining-disrupt. So that's to.tools/mining-disrupt. And you can get 10% off of your ticket price. So you'll know that you have a discount if it says offered Scott up in the corner, and it says 10% discount available. So if you're looking for that link, let us know. Otherwise, just go to 2.tools/mining-disrupt, and you could save on your ticket price. We're going to be there. We're going to be sponsoring.
Yeah,
and
save it, and buy more miners from me and Scott. Use that 10%. Buy more miners from me and Scott. And we will see you at Mining Disrupt.
It
Awesome.
seems like it's going to be even bigger than the last year.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's going to be way more exhibitors, a lot more attendees. There's going to be a lot of space there. Are you guys going to be there, Pavel?
Yeah, sure. We were there the last year as well, but we didn't know what to expect, to be honest. So we didn't bring a lot of people. We were like 3 people there, even without a booth. It was a mistake. We should have better presence there. And I
we
think
can help you with that.
Call me then.
All right.
Yeah, we'll call you.
No, we will definitely be there. It was a really nice event.
Awesome. So one question I had for you specifically, because you do work for a pool, you are co-founder of a pool. What do you think of BCH and that proposed tax, or I guess I don't know what they call it, a tax to build up the developer fund? What do you think of that proposal?
I think it's unfortunate. It's that I don't care about it too much, but I think the precedence is really unhealthy. And what it shows is there can be few guys who can make an agreement and basically take everybody else hostage.
Yes.
I would
And
really,
this is centralization. We want decentralization. We wanted to
yeah.
get away from this.
The worst thing about this is I don't want to see anything similar in a Bitcoin space. It would harm everybody. I mean, let's look at the mining as a part of the larger Bitcoin ecosystem. And we can, as a miners, we can harm ourselves by like sending bad signals towards the whole industry, or even to public. And just imagine people doing officially 51% attack in Bitcoin. What sign it is? I think it's not so easy in Bitcoin, but the fact that it happened in BCH, it's unfortunate from my perspective.
So I
And
understand, they
about the money itself. I can imagine that the intentions could be good. Difficult to say what other people have in their minds. Yeah, but I would not be part of it if it's on my side.
So yeah, thanks for that answer. How do you feel about the way it was proposed or presented? It seemed like at first they were suggesting that, hey, this could be a great thing for the community and for Bitcoin Cash development. But then, as far as that presentation, did they do it in the right way?
I'm not sure if I saw the original presentation, so it's difficult to comment on that. The principle is wrong. I mean, if there is no, let's look at what developers tend to do.
So okay, hold on. Like if they were just starting out and they had a brand new coin and they said right off the very beginning, from the very offset, there's going to be a percentage of tax, that the developers get.
Well,
when it's
there
mined.
are coins that do something similar. They're not charging the users per se, but they're setting a certain amount aside of the coin to reinvest into development. I think that's the proper way to do it. I don't think putting the burden.
We're talking about doing it on the pool side.
You know what you are facing. If you face Zcash, it was clear from the beginning. You can like it. You can think whatever you want about it, but at least it was clear from the beginning, which is not this case.
Yeah, making it up as you go along. I don't like that.
From the pool side, not from the coin developer side, right? Or
yeah, but still it changes features of the coin, and it's somewhat like one-sided decision. And people love coding. People love to do some interesting stuff with their brains and computers. World is full of very clever people writing software, and I don't think this is a proper way how to attract people to build some applications.
Well said.
It cannot work because
it's going to attract greed, and it's not going to attract innovation.
Yeah, there's so many clever people working on projects they love, and they feel that they can bring some value by contributing their effort and therefore their money for working on some interesting project. And this is not the case. So even the intentions could be good. I don't think it's the right way how to approach it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great explanation.
But I didn't spend a lot of time analyzing what actually was the communication and stuff like that. So if I missed some critical piece of news, sorry, but I think this is roughly.
We have another question here for you, and we'll make this our last question because I think we're running out of time. The Miner Base says, what does the future of the industry look like, and what do you imagine you'll be doing 3 years from now? How much will your services have improved in that time period?
I mean, I'll be already quite capable of driving my Lambo. It takes
Okay.
some time. No, I don't like the cars, but we are. I think everybody feels that we are moving towards more and more professionalized industry. More and more companies are doing super clever things to be efficient on every single level you can imagine. This will continue because it's mining. It's
Yeah.
about being efficient, and I can imagine more public money will come to the space. Yeah, you started to.
Scott.
Sorry,
How do you say
I
it?
just had to move into my garage
Dream
Right.
building or
for the end of this. Yeah. So what we're talking about? How do you envision the future? What do you think it's going to
Yeah.
look like? What about you, Pavel, personally or
would
professionally?
would like to do what I'm doing, maybe less hours a week. But I like the industry and I like the space and the vibe and people doing something what they value. It's really nice. It's tough industry. I mean,
Mhm.
everybody who mines for profit or for living knows that it is a tough industry. It's going to be tougher and tougher, but we just need to accept these basic principles how this
Mhm.
industry works. But I would like to be in the space still. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. More public money, I would say,
Mhm.
and it would be mostly driven or partly by broader adoption. And if more and more adoption comes into the space and validation by larger companies or potentially even some government bodies, let's say, then more public companies with a lot of money would join in, and we can see already this happening a bit.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
people who would have the expertise build for the years and years. It's something what you can get overnight. A lot of people from the industry would have a lot of work to help allocate this kind of money, especially if the price is going up, then we would see proportionally a lot of money flowing into the Bitcoin
Absolutely.
infrastructure, mining infrastructure as well. It goes hands in hand.
Without
hands-
imposing a tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, so before we leave, we want to ask you how people can find you online. But before that, I just want to share with you, Pavel, about a new firmware that's available
Uh-oh.
for the Antminer S17 Plus. Have you heard about this? You can make the S17 Plus hash up to 100 terahash per second at 43 watts per terahash.
I have read an article about running some Intel CPU on almost 7 gigahertz per second with some nitrogen liquid cooling. So yeah, crazy stuff can be done. I would like to get my hands on the machine and firmware and actually see it, but yeah, but I can imagine it's possible.
So let me ask you this, Pavel: if we could provide that to you and you verified it, would you be willing to go public and say, you know, hey, I'm one of the fundamental creators of Braiins OS. I've checked this out. It is stable. It works. It's real.
Yeah, if it's true, I would be capable of saying that. Yeah.
Well, excellent.
Why not?
We'll have to talk soon then.
Yeah, we'll have to talk, definitely.
Okay.
All right. So why don't you tell us
the machine then and use it for heating my flat?
Absolutely, or your pool or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pavel, why don't you tell people, our audience, how they can find you on social media or around the web?
Use my name, type it to Twitter, and I wish you good luck. I don't know my handle.
You don't know your Twitter handle? Okay, that's cool.
Let me find it.
All right.
I think you have it.
Thanks for helping me with
Right.
this. Yeah, but obviously,
And of course,
you can
you're on
reach people.
Telegram, right, Pavel? You're on
I am.
Telegram.
I
So,
can
yeah.
find my Telegram handle there,
Right.
Okay,
but
at
but
MOR
we can
underscore
put it somewhere, I
PAV.
guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you put it up on the screen so people can see, Scott?
Yep. 1 second here. Okay, so
Awesome,
on
awesome
Twitter,
technology.
on Twitter, here we go. Twitter. I'll post it there.
I should work harder in my social media presence.
There you go. Hopefully, we're gonna get you a bunch of new followers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There we go.
Thanks.
All right. Well, Pavel, thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to maybe having you on again in the future. Thanks for your time.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you for having me
Thanks,
here. It
Pavel.
was fun.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.